Hello YouTubers, my name is Subtopics and I am an educator. Welcome everyone to Edification 360. Welcome. Alright, so Edification 360, it is a platform that we have started due to the health pandemic which has happened, which is COVID-19. And so we serve as a resource for learners, and we are going to be starting with grade 7. In grade 7 particularly, we are going to be offering lessons for economics and management sciences, along with social sciences that entails history and geography. And so we have started this really to help our learners really get up to par with their academics. And so please stay tuned, and please make sure you subscribe. Economic and Management Sciences, Grade 7, Revision Video number 1. Term 2, Week 1, entails revision of Term 1 content. Term 1 content that covers 4 topics. Number 1, the history of money. 2, needs and wants. 3, goods and services. 4, businesses. You will see there is a series of 4 different videos to cover the 4 topics of Term 1 content. The history of money. In order for us to really understand the history of money, it is important for us to look at the following subtopics. Firstly, we need to look at traditional societies and battering. Secondly, we need to look at the development of money. And thirdly, we need to look at the role of money. A long time ago, people had to produce their own goods, as money did not exist at that point. They were self-sufficient, meaning that they were able to make and find everything that they needed to satisfy their needs and wants. The traditional societies included the San were hunter-gatherers, and the Khoi who were herders. The San moved from one place to another to hunt and to kill animals. From the animals, they were able to get food, they were able to get clothing, and these clothing were made from the animal's skin. They were also able to get jewelry and tools, and these were made from the bones. The Khoi kept animals such as goats, cows, and sheep, and they were able to build their own shelters using material from the environment. People began cultivating their lands once they had begun to stay in places for longer periods. As they began to produce goods, they then produced a surplus, meaning more of something than they needed. They needed opportunities then to trade with other families for various goods. This then led to bartering. Bartering is the exchanging of goods for other goods without the use of money. As people started exchanging goods for other goods, which we said is called bartering, there were several problems. We are only going to highlight 3 of those problems. The first one was it was difficult to determine whether one product, which was to be swapped for another product, was of the same value or even quantity. The second one, it was difficult to find someone who had what you wanted and who was interested in what you had to offer. Thirdly, bartering was time-consuming because it was not easy to find someone who had what you needed.
Instead of money, there was swapping, also known as bartering. It worked like this.
Want to swap this apple for an orange?
Yes. I want a cow. You want some wheat?
But there were problems with this. The items needed to be of a similar value.
How about swapping this apple for that DVD?
No way, that's not fair.
The other problem was that many items would go rotten and so didn't keep their value. And some were too heavy to even carry. It started to get even more complicated when people began using gifts like perfume, jewellery, and other valuable goods.
You want this perfume for that necklace?
I don't like the smell of it, no.
In order for us to have a holistic idea of the development of money, it is important for us to look at 4 sub-themes in the development of money. Firstly, we need to look at promissory notes. Secondly, coins. Thirdly, paper money. Fourthly, electronic banking. It is important for us to look at all these 4 themes because they then all lead to the development of money. And many years ago, there were no banks, and people then had a problem with keeping their gold safe. There were 2 solutions which came about. The first solution was using temples. So priests came up with a solution that then people should rather keep their gold in the temples, and they would have the special protection of their gods. The second solution was in keeping gold with merchants. And so what would happen is that you'd give the merchant your gold, and in exchange they would give you a receipt, or rather yet a promissory note. The word promissory is derived from the word promise, meaning that the note is a promise by the merchant to give you the gold in exchange for the notes. And at a later stage, these promissory notes then led to the development of paper money. Many years ago, the Chinese made imitations of crow's shells of base metals such as copper. These were then the earliest forms of metal coins. These coins were then often made with holes in them so that they could be put together in a chain. There was a certain reason why coins were then a suitable medium of exchange when people traded with each other. Some people use metal as a medium of exchange when trading with one another, and there were certain reasons on why they preferred using metals. Firstly, metals were suitable because they were scarce, meaning that you couldn't easily find them. Secondly, they were durable. And thirdly, they could easily be divided into coins of various sizes. And this is what led to the use of coins. Instead of carrying these heavy coins, people then preferred to keep their golds with merchants. Merchants who then gave them pieces of paper, which were receipts. Previously, we highlighted that then these receipts were known as promissory notes. And we said this then led to the development of paper money. The first banknote appeared in China because the Chinese invented paper. From promissory notes, we then went to coins, we then went to paper money, and lastly, we then look at electronic banking. Today, many of the payments in our economy are made by transferring money via the internet, using a computer, using a cell phone, and this is what we also call internet or cell phone banking, rather yet electronic banking. And so with electronic banking, there are a number of things that you can do: making balance inquiries, transferring money, paying accounts, buying airtime for yourself or even for someone else. With electronic banking, there also comes various banking services such as cardless cash withdrawal, pay to sell, F&B Connect, e-wallet through F&B. The bank can also send text to your phone to inform you of transactions at tills, cash withdrawals and deposits into your account. ABSA also warns you that you're going to exceed your ATM withdrawal limits. And with this comes many advantages and many disadvantages.
Gold. But gold was too heavy to keep on you and carry around. But what if it was a little smaller? In 200 AD, coins of precious metals were made. They were small, which made them easier to carry around. To make things even easier, the coins were weighed and stamped so everyone knew how much they were worth. People started to give their gold coins to the goldsmith to look after and keep them safe.
Can you look after my gold for me, please?
Yes. Here's your £10 receipt.
These receipts were the earliest types of banknotes. They have developed and now they are no longer linked to gold. Over time, more and more security features have been added to notes to stop them being copied, as well as getting smaller so they now fit into our pockets. Money has continued to change, and in the 1950s, credit cards were invented. Cards mean that now we don't need to carry notes and coins around to pay for stuff. In recent years, with better computers and internet technology, we don't even need to be there to pay for a product. Most of the money in the world is now, in fact, invisible.
The role of money. 1. Money is a medium of exchange. It makes trade easier because goods and services can be exchanged for money. 2. Money is a unit of account. It makes it easier to compare the value of one item with that of another. 3. Money is a store of value. Money can be saved for future use because its value stays more or less the same over a long period of time. 4. Money is a standard of future payment because people can buy on credit and settle the account in future. For money to be an effective medium of exchange, it should have the following characteristics. 1. It needs to be scarce. 2. It needs to be durable. 3. It needs to be portable. And 4. It should be divisible.
As our fellow YouTubers, thank you so much for joining us today for Economics and Management Sciences Revision number 1 that dealt with the history of money. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below, okay? And yes, we hope you are going to be joining us next time for our next video that entails Economics Management Sciences video number 2, which is the second revision. Stay tuned.